We're back again, and ooh, looks like Sora's made some friends.
Hey, why don't you come with us? We can go to other worlds on our vessel.
Oh, cool. What's it called? You know, I mean, I hope it's not a silly vessel. You know, it'd really be quite embarrassing having to fly around on a, you know, ship that's just, you know, got the most ridiculous name imaginable. So I'm sure I'll be happy to come with you guys, so long as that's not a problem.
Sora, go with them. Especially if you
Go with these strangers who we're just assuming are good people.
But you can't come along looking like that. Understand? No flying, no shot face, okay?
More three-dimensional faces, no 2D ones.
Like us.
Yes, but ones on happy faces.
Get ready, people. Get ready for it. Let's get ready for some cringe.
Okay, why not? I'll go with you guys.
Name's Goofy.
I'm Sora.
All for one, one for all.
Okay, I will say this. I like the fact that that line actually does end up making sense. Like, they didn't just say, "Oh, let's just have a random, Three Musketeers reference in here." And you know, it's funny because the directed video film that they make, you know, Mickey Mouse and the Three Musketeers, actually did end up coming a thing after Kingdom Hearts. So it's funny how they managed to work that in. So I'll say this whole legion of Disney villains here, it only took me halfway through to realize, oh wait, these are Disney villains. As soon as I realized that, I was freaking out. You know, I was like, oh my god, this was the part where I freaked out, not the Final Fantasy characters. This was when I just, you know. And I'll say back there with the silhouettes of them all, I find it funny how the Ursula one is, because she's in Atlantica, where she's in the water, you know, her animations just of her floating in the air, because she obviously doesn't really go on land in the game, so it's weird seeing that there, just seeing her hovering on the ground. Make sure you're prepared for the journey ahead of you. We don't know how far the Heartless have spread. Check out our shop here. They got some pretty neat stuff. Sell from us. Ooh, money, 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 money. Spend it and see if it. Good luck. I hope you find it. It's funny how they'll have things like potions and of the like from the Final Fantasy games, but they didn't want to have Gil be the currency. You know, it's kind of weird, the whole thing they made up, but they've also taken things from the Final Fantasy games. So, that's our ship. Oh, really? That's the name of your ship? You know what? Maybe I'll find my my friends my own way. You know, I'll try and see if I can find my own ship. You know, I'll, you know, see you guys around. I'd just like to see the fear the Heartless have. Just like they have to say, "Oh my God, it's the gummy ship! Run!" Oh yeah. Dodge roll. Do a dodge roll. Okay, I'm gonna say right now, I feel like I can't be, but I feel like there's no point in me trying to do impressions of Donald and Goofy, just because, well, if I try to do Donald, I'm gonna try and probably hurt my voice while doing these Let's Plays, and Goofy, well, I don't know, I'm just gonna sound weird every time I do it, you know? Okay, that was a piss poor attempt at trying to sound Goofy-like, so... Oh, I guess I could try and do a Jiminy Cricket impression, but gee willikers, I just don't know, you know? He says that, right? Gee willikers? Come on, Pinocchio. Looks like it's up to me to keep track of all of you in my journal. Thank you, Jiminy. You've been a big help on us. You know, our biographer is with us. Huh, here they are. Hey! Hey, look at this mark! I wonder what it is. Ooh. Ready? And teamwork! That's the thing I kind of like is the, all the, like I said, little secrets you get around here. So I'll do a little bit around the square, but I'll come back to that because I'll probably come back this way when I have to get back to the Colosseum. We'll start with Wonderland first. There are Dalmatians named Pongo and Perdita living in the secondary district. What's wrong? They're quite upset. The Dalmatians, they lost their puppies. Call me Leon. Squall, can't stop them, worry about them. Call me Leon. Okay, like I said before, I have yet to have played Final Fantasy VIII, so I have no idea why he has two names to it himself. So, I'm sure someone out there probably knows. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who probably know why, but like I said, I know for a fact he's named Squall in the game and everywhere else, so no idea what the hell's up with that. Puppies is really. So we got some magic now, which we'll put to some use later. Fire, fire, yeah! So let's go ahead and mess around with our abilities first of all, just to get us prepared for that. I think, yeah, they don't have theirs yet. We can roll now, which is going to be very big help. Let's get this one done here, and then we'll head out to our first brand new world. And money. I guess sure. How much? Well, we'll be fine for that. Like I said, we're only going to go to the first world, and I'm going to get for the start off with the green cursors. The green cursors show your current position. Select your next destination with the cursor. Okay. Observe the battle level when selecting destinations. The more stars means stronger Heartless in that world. So I kind of completely ignored that whole star thing and went this way my first try, which meant that after I did that, I went to the world over here. And that meant that I completely missed this one off, which changed a few things around than I thought, so do that, but you know, go your own way, as they say. But I'll go to the direction of this one just because, you know, makes more sense, and plus I'd rather these Let's Plays not just be of me continuously getting my ass kicked at points. So, it's definitely something I kind of, definitely another weak point of the game, I will admit, is the gummy ships in the game, which definitely can feel very, very slow, though I think the last time I played this, I ended up just like taking all the pieces I just collected and building one like super awesome ship, and I think I managed to sped through the last level in like less than a few seconds, just from how much stuff I collected up, so that was definitely rewarding, I think, in it of self, that I was just like, went from sticking to the standard ship throughout the whole thing, and then suddenly I was like, okay, let's just put some stuff together just to get through this quickly. I was like, whoa, I'm just plowing through this. And I think definitely a problem with it is that, one, it does feel very slow, and, well, let's be frankly honest, it does show the game's age pretty well. Like, well, there are those. Like, I've given praise to some of the things like the graphics in certain areas. This is definitely not a great example of some of the game's best aspects. And I'll definitely, again, kind of one of the reasons why I kind of do prefer Kingdom Hearts 2 to this one. It's one of the reasons is the gummy ship levels, which in itself, I feel like are almost their own game, just from how awesome they feel, you know, just because there's just such an epicness to them. And while I'll say I have I have honestly never played a single game in the series, I think they make a good example for a good Star Fox game. I believe feel like they're quite similar enough. There's probably some Star Fox fans out there who are saying, what are you talking about? There's no comparison between them whatsoever, but I feel like they're a good example, and let's be frank here, from what you've gotten from some of the other Star Fox games that have been around, I don't think that's too much to say that there might be a bit of a similarity, you know. So let's go ahead and start with our first world, which is, you know, thankfully the good Disney Alice in Wonderland movie, not the rather boring Johnny Depp one, which I think the problem with the Johnny Depp one, in my opinion, is just how it's just boring, you know. That's the problem with it. And I will admit, though, Alice in Wonderland, the original one, I haven't actually watched it that many times. I feel like I've probably watched it twice in my entire lifetime, and even then I feel like one of those times was just, the latter time was just a few bits here and there. So I can't say like, oh, they ruined one of my favourite Disney movies. Like, no, they did it right, you know. And I'll say this for what it's worth, they actually do have some neat little references to the films here and there, even if it does feel like they kind of remove some of the more, you know, lovable characters.
How did he get so small?
No, you're simply too big.
Haha, I love that.
Must you be so loud? You woke me up. Good morning. Good night.
I love those bits where you just have the characters just sort of, you know, putting their own logic into the worlds, and even sort of like ones like this where you've got these logical characters in a very unlogical world. It's pretty humorous. Like, it's this kind of stuff I think is kind of neat when you've got the characters, you know, our heroes essentially trying to follow through on the actual protagonists of the other stories, you know. And granted, you know, if you've seen the movie and you see the characters putting the pieces together and you're like, we already seen the movie, we know how the pieces are put together, but I realise I've kind of already made the mistake because I've very stupidly need to remember I need to go big so I can push the bed back, so let's go ahead and do that. I remember actually being stuck on this room for a while just because I didn't realise where the hell I was supposed to go. It was like... yeah, it's always a key thing just to check around to see what it is. So let's go back to being small. I love the way that Sora drinks it, and yet somehow Donald and Goofy just also happen to go big as well, you know? So go small. Probably get a lot of that, people, me saying one thing and then I'll end up saying... meaning to say one thing and I'll say the exact opposite. So, as I sort of mentioned before, one of the things I've got to give credit for is how they were actually able to get the actual voice actress for Alice, for the original Disney movie of Alice, to come back, which... I can't, okay, I'll be frank, I can't remember the actress's name, but having to try and... her imitation of it, actually, for a role that she did... I want to say at least over 60 to 70 years ago. It's really, really good, you know. I could be mistaken, it's probably 50, I guess. But, yeah, she's just done really, really well in that effect, and...
We're outsiders, so wouldn't that be muddling?
Mud.
Oh, yeah. And that's against the rules.
The court finds the defendant guilty as charged.
Not that that will stop us.
Crimes of assault and attempted theft by heart. Off with her head!
No! Oh, please! Hold it right there!
Who are you? How dare you interfere with my court?
You look so out of place in this
Excuse me, but we
odd
know who
world
the
of
real
ours.
Uh-huh. It's the Heartland.
Anyway, she's not the one you're looking for.
A talking dog? Now I've seen
Have you any
everything.
proof?
Bring me evidence of Alice's innocence. Sorry. And it's off with all of your heads. Gather as much or little evidence as you can, please. Report back here once you are ready. Before we do that, let's go introduce to Alice. Just stroll on up. Who are you? I'm Sora. I'm Goofy, and that there's Donald. Please. That's one thing you should get used to is, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2, is them introducing themselves to every person. You know, like, there's one thing they pointed out on the Honest Games trailer of it, was just how much they say each other's names so much of the time. I was like, damn, they do that, you know. I'm surprised I kind of noticed it, but I was kind of wondering, why has no one else noticed this odd thing? So I'm kind of, when it comes to characters they just have speech bubbles for, I do wish they would have all of them. Like, it's kind of weird they just said, okay, we can't find someone to do a voice for Sid, we can't do one for the Cheshire Cat. Trying to think of other ones they just say we can't have a voice for, or even characters they just say let's just remove them altogether, you know. Ooh, hello. So it's kind of one of the things I like in this world is the little how it's basically one giant puzzle, really. So before we do that, let's let's get rid of these. So I want to say I remember where roughly all the evidence boxes are. Again, it's one of those things where I'll remember it pretty well, and then once I get a hold of it, and then next time I end up playing the game, about a year or so later, I end up forgetting everything. Alright. See then. It's so I can dodge roll too. Yeah, so I do. It's. I will say the mechanics of Donald and Goofy, they could always do a bit better with some of their moves, and again, I think in Kingdom Hearts 2 they managed to improve on it a bit. Alright, so there's the one box. We just need to get like 5 or so of them, so shouldn't be too hard. I know one. Oh, let's just go for the door. We'll be fine. There we got the one here. Then let's pop back in the room. Go away. We'll deal with you later. And how are we doing? Let's see. So we'll try and see if we can get very much at least to fighting the queen in her hearts, and so let's go ahead and give this flower potion. And again, these are kind of the mechanics I like, these sort of odd RPG mechanics of, hey, just give a potion to a flower. And so now we jump on here, let's drop that up, and drop. Yeah, I know. Give me the damn acorn. Take, and then we'll hit the tree around, and then we can eat it. I remember the last time I just took a bite out of an acorn. So I will say, while I think they do a good job with this world, there are definitely little bits here and there, like the sort of boxed in room and stuff like that, that I wish. I'm sure nowadays probably wouldn't be a thing that they would. Ooh, come on! Oof, that was close. Let's see. Claw marks. You mean I won't tell, but I'll give you something? So that's one of the things I like as well, is how they'll actually give you. Originally, you're supposed to get the spell during the boss fight at the end of the level, but you get this piece of evidence here. They'll actually give it to you early on, which I really enjoy. I like the fact that they put that little shortcut in there again. Again, something that I think you don't see too much in most sort of RPG-like action games nowadays. But I'll try not to bog down too much about saying, oh, These games nowadays, they've lost their heart. No pun intended. Alright, we've got to get rid of these guys first before we start. Open up that box, which I want to say probably might be the last one we need. I think there's a rock block in the one there. So either way, though, we'll just grab it, and all we're trying to do is make basically is make the fight easier for us. And so let's go ahead and grab it. There we go. Nice of the Heartless to box up all of their evidence for us, you know, or wrap it up for us. And okay. I really do hope the button pressing isn't coming through pretty loud through the mic, because notice that checking through the audio and I was like, oh god, this really is quite noisy now I think about it, so try and keep it a little bit further away from the mic, just because I'm gonna do a little bit with the audio later just to make it sound a bit different. There we go, pop up here. So I'm pretty sure we've got one more here, and then have we got one more here, or are we? Shouldn't we? Where are we? Is it supposed to be? I think we're supposed to come back later, and it changes it. Yeah. Alright, whatever. Let's just go ahead and present our evidence. We've got to talk to this guy, don't we? Alright, we gotta. There it is, this guy. Yep. On the podium. Now you should show it. Objection! That's irrelevant, but I'm still not impressed. And the one bit there. Alright, so just got to avoid the bad one. I will be quite surprised if I do manage to go for the bad one, so this one. Okay, and show me the money. Yep, there we go. What in the world was that? Ruff, ruff. I'm the law here. Objection, Your Honor. On the grounds that you're a bitch. I'm sure there's some tragic story to the Queen of Hearts as to why she's like that, you know. That should have been the real story, you know, behind, if you're going to do a more adult Alice in Wonderland, you know, actually should put some actual real tragedy to it, though make sure it's very random tragedy, at the very least. Ooh. Alright, let's get rid of these guys to... Ah! Damn you. There we go. I love that little bit with how they actually... you can actually attack her. Alright, one more to go. Deep freeze. I've got the hotkeys so I can easily... Uh-oh. Okay. Alright. Shut up. I just love that little bit that they have with it. And it's not even like a soup. Say this is a hard fight, you know. So, Donald, do what you can. Oh, of course, Donald's out. Can I do this without possibly needing to get some stuff first? Come on, there we go. Nah. One last one. Before there was the get on top of the Hydra's back. That's gonna be a joy when we get to that. You fools! You've ruined everything! find the one who's behind this. I don't care how. We cool. Quit dawdling. So, we've still got time in our hands, so let's see if we can go ahead and explore a bit more, and then we'll probably maybe take a little break right when we get to the boss fight. Yes. Alice? No. Shadows. Yes. Where do they go? This way? That way? Does it matter? Left, right, up, down, all mixed up thanks to the shadows. Step deeper into the forest to the deserted garden. You might find shadows in the upside down room. Yeah, I'll admit, I was completely confused when I first played this level. I was like, what the hell are we supposed to do? And we got these guys now again, which, again, love that new colour scheme. Though, for these ones, I don't really mind so much, like, I don't know, it's not as jarring as certainly some of the bosses, that's to say. And it's definitely with these characters, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I've got dodge, but with these characters you really need to have block with you, because, or guard, I guess. I was gonna find it weird how the shadowlings are considered sort of like, you have little plushies of the shadowlings and stuff, like. But certainly when it comes to, like, you have the iconic scrub-like characters, I mean enemies, where you've got whether it be the Goombas or, trying to think of other, like, you know, iconic enemies that, look at when I said this, I should have thought of more ones, iconic ones. I think of other kind of singular, kind of iconic enemies to games. Trying to think of like all the classic ones like Mega Man or Zelda. Nope, can't think of any. So yeah, I got one for you, Goombas. That's all I could think of right now on the spot. Yeah. Alrighty then, let's jump up here. We should be able to get a little taste of what the room's like now. Whoa! What's going on here now? What is this? Don't drop me in. No, don't drop me in. Ugh, God, Donald. And he's out cold, of course. Okay, I know I'm gonna have to save my potions until later. Another bit of improvement you get with second game is that they'll actually have you don't have to go all the way to Traverse Town just to get some potions. Definitely one of those things where you get to sort of get an idea of how they telegraph their moves pretty easily. Damn it! Why did I not have guard? Alright, I'll stock myself up when I... Damn it! Alright. It's also another thing I wish I had right now is probably scan as well, just so that way you can figure out which is easiest to pick off. I want to say if I'd probably chosen a different layout of the very beginning of which weapon I wanted to pick from, I'd probably have it by now, but like I said, it's the preferred layout I usually go for. So let's knock this down. Oh no! That did a thing, apparently. Light it up. So let's Defense up. That's very helpful. Let's stock up on stuff. What have we got? What have we got? I'll go to the stock first. We've got some potions. Exchange. Sora. I guess. Yeah, exchange. Put a hyper potion down just because, I don't know. And should we give a normal potion to... Let's give the use on me. I'm going to be using like all the defense ups and attack ups, and well, I'm going to use up pretty much all the AP ups on Sora. Because, well, let's be frank here. Usually, while sure, you know, it's not good to give them to Donald and Goofy, you're pretty much just always you're gonna have those times where you're gonna be fighting with Sora alone, so it's kind of pointless. Plus, you'll have times where you'll be having the other characters join you on your adventures, and well, you know. So let's go ahead and find the lights on. Damn it! Oh, hello. Oh, I love these guys. I'll say this: while people have like the Shadowling plushies, I want to get one of these ones just for the mushroom guys, just because I like the idea of just these ones that. So I've got 3 on me, so let's go ahead and give these ones one of these prizes. So we've got to try and aim it right when they got it right. So freeze, there we go. And freeze, there we go. And another, give me another. Okay, you need lightning for that one. Do it quickly before they go. Lightning for that one. Come on. Oh, fire. There we go. Give me a prize. Blaze shard. So we won't. Should we do another one? Fire. There we go. And another. Not one that isn't lightning. And he's gonna do that thinking animation thing. And any second now. Oh. Alright, I always forget sometimes. And there's a lightning one. Or thunder. And freeze. There we go. And the frost shard. Alright, let's go ahead and keep this going. We're a little bit over time right now, so we'll go ahead and probably stop it right about here. Oh no, the terror. So again, thanks again for tuning in, guys. Hope you all enjoy all this, and again, I'll be catching you all around in next time. Thanks again.